The United States government has committed to ending the practice of anti-satellite missile tests in space. Vice President Kamala Harris, who chairs the National Space Council, announced the self-imposed ban at the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California.
I am pleased to announce that as of today, the United States commits not to conduct destructive, direct ascent, anti-satellite missile testing. Simply put, these tests are dangerous, and we will not conduct them. We are the first nation to make such a commitment, and today, on behalf of the United States of America, I call on all nations to join us.
This is the first of its kind ban, and it's part of the Biden administration's strategy to promote the responsible use of space. Anti-satellite weapons tests see a spacecraft in orbit destroyed with a missile system. Countries performing ASAT tests historically have done so by targeting their own assets in space. Plans for the ban were set late last year after the Russian military destroyed a defunct satellite. The test created thousands of pieces of debris in low Earth orbit, and it even sent astronauts on the International Space Station into their emergency shelter as the craft passed through a shrapnel field. To date, only 4 countries have destroyed their own satellites in ASAT tests: the US, Russia, China, and India.
These tests are part of their efforts to develop anti-satellite weapons systems. These weapons are intended to deny the United States our ability to use our space capabilities by destroying our satellites which are critical to our national security. These tests, to be sure, are reckless, and they are irresponsible. These tests also put in danger so much of what we do in space.
Space debris, or space junk as it's known, has become a new concern for the world's space agencies. Astronauts on the International Space Station carry out an avoidance maneuver so that their craft does not get hit by a piece of debris as they float in zero gravity. Here's a short illustration of how this so-called space junk is formed.
Millions of pieces of man-made debris are currently orbiting the Earth. This huge cloud of space junk is suspended between 800 and 2,000 kilometers above us. Since space exploration began in 1957, fragments from more than 6,000 space launches and 600 orbital explosions have been accumulating. Old rockets, out-of-order satellites, tools lost by astronauts, and even flecks of paint pose a serious threat to future space exploration, particularly manned flights and stations. Sensors carried on space vehicles only tend to detect micro-debris, but damage from a collision can be serious due to the very fast orbital speed of this debris, traveling at some 28,000 kilometers an hour. The International Space Station, for example, has had to perform avoidance maneuvers around 30 times, and astronauts have had to take refuge 5 times. There is also the risk of debris slamming into the hundreds of Earth observation and telecommunication satellites which orbit the Earth. Billions of dollars worth of weather monitoring equipment, global navigation, and communication systems are at risk. The big fear is of a collision occurring and triggering a chain reaction, known as the Kessler syndrome. Over 30,000 pieces of debris measuring more than 10 centimeters, and sometimes as big as a bus, are currently being tracked and followed from Earth by radars and telescopes. Space agencies are working on debris recovery systems. Nets, harpoons, sails, everything is envisaged to deal with the risk of collision. In 2025, ESA is due to launch the Clear Space mission, a sort of satellite cleaner that will use its articulated arms to recover a piece of an old European rocket and deorbit it.